In 1924, Lillian Moeller Gilbreth found herself a widow with 11 children. She and her late husband, Frank Gilbreth, were the inventors of motion study, breaking tasks down into minute component parts to figure out how to speed up repetitive tasks and reduce worker fatigue. The couple was also the subject of Cheaper by the Dozen, a 1948 best-selling biographical novel written by two of those children. While Frank Gilbreth was alive, he and Lillian worked for industries ranging from construction to medicine to rehabilitation. Lillian had a PhD in psychology, and she eventually became the second woman member of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers and the first female engineering professor at Purdue University. She wrote or co-wrote many of Frank's books, often anonymously, as it was thought that a woman's byline might undermine their authority. After Frank's sudden death, even longtime clients were reluctant to renew their contracts with her alone, and she had to reestablish herself as a sole female practitioner. Unwilling to let Gilbreth Incorporated perish with its male founder, and still needing to provide for her children, she did just what many professional women of the present day do when presented with an obstacle. She pivoted. First, she established a course in motion study, headquartered at her Montclair, New Jersey home and office. If companies did not want her services, they might still send their employees to her for training, as teaching was considered a woman's profession. This would allow her to travel less and spend more time with the family. Next, she began to think about areas of industry in which being a woman and a mother might be an asset rather than a liability. Even when Frank was alive, they tested many of their ideas on their children, establishing the one best way to take a bath, to train preteens to touch type, and to chart age-appropriate chores for each child. The couple pioneered the use of short films to study how jobs were performed, and they once set up camera equipment in their laboratory to film 5 of their children getting their tonsils out. The ensuing hijinks provided enough material for Cheaper by the Dozen and a sequel, Bells on Their Toes. In the latter, Frank B. Gilbreth Jr. and Ernestine Gilbreth Carey write of their mother, "If the only way to enter a man's field was through the kitchen door, that's the way she'd enter." Mother planned, on paper, an efficiency-type kitchenette of the kind used today in a good many apartments. Under her arrangement, a person could mix a cake, put it in the oven, and do the dishes without taking more than a couple of dozen steps. Her kitchen plans got her a contract with General Electric, then coverage in the newspapers, and then an offer by a newsreel company to film this unicorn, a woman engineer with 11 children, baking an apple cake in her efficiency kitchen. The cake was a must, as it was the only dish Gilbreth could prepare. Her family had employed a cook during her childhood, and the Gilbreth household had included a couple of servants so that both parents could work. Studying films of women in their kitchens, Gilbreth counted the number of steps required to walk from pantry to stove to sink, and the number of operations required to measure, stir, bake, and wash up while making a cake. She then rearranged the elements of the kitchen to put stove and prep counter side by side, with ingredients stored above, pans below, and the refrigerator nearby. A cart within arm's reach provided a second work surface and could be wheeled over to the sink when the task was done. The arrangement was L-shaped, one of 3 efficient setups used in most contemporary kitchens, where a fixed island typically replaces the cart. My kitchen is a U. Yours may be a C. Though her biographer, Jane Lancaster, points out that Gilbreth seemed little interested in getting other women out of the kitchen, when her daughter Ernestine married Charles Everett Carey in 1930 and asked her mother for a kitchen design as a wedding present, Lillian created one she branded the Teamwork Kitchen, with a butcher's apron for Carey and cupboards engineered for his greater than 6-foot height.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.